It's Kentucky Derby week, and that's time. All right, ready? It's Kentucky Derby week, and that means it's time to dish on the Derby with the Paddock Prince David Levitch. Plenty of information going to be available at picks.horseracing.nation.com, but we're going to talk about some of those ideas ahead of Derby week. David, you ready?
I'm very ready. I'm not very ready yet, but I will be very ready
You know
in a
you'll be
couple
very
days.
ready. I like it.
I'm very
now,
ready.
You going to be live on track?
I'll be there, Oaks and Derby.
Love it.
I'm getting too old for the 4-peat. I can't do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday anymore.
Yeah, it's a
I've
lot.
passed those days.
And definitely weather dependent. Like, I definitely don't want more than one day of rain. I'm out.
Yeah, I saw the weather. I mean, you never know here, but looks like light showers a couple days.
I have not gotten to the point where I think I need to prepare for like handicapping and off track though.
Yeah.
Certainly not.
I'm sure it'll happen when I get to the track and it's too late to change anything. That's what I'm sure will happen. But Saturday looks good. So
Saturday looks great. Fantastic card. 14 races. Derby's the 12th. Before we get to what we like, because I know that's kind of out there enough already. What's the one opinion you keep seeing that you totally disagree with?
As a horse or in the Derby itself?
Yeah, about the Derby. Either a horse people like or an idea.
I have two opinions about the race, and I'm probably going to be wrong about this, but I think Baffert is 1-2 going into the first turn. I don't know how Citizen Bull does not send from the rail. So I think that heats the pace up. I know East Avenue is an all-out, need the lead type, but I don't know how going into the first turn that pace is not stacked 3 wide with maybe Rodriguez takes back, but people don't think Citizen Bull is going. I think Citizen Bull is going. I don't know if Owen Almighty can get there from out there. I mean, he would have to break exceptionally well.
Right.
My other strong opinion is I do not like Sandman at all. I don't understand how he could ever be the second choice in this race. He's got some like famous TikToker behind him that I've never heard of in my life until this week. I guess
Metallica.
All that stuff. As a horse, I just don't know. And we were going to argue about this if second choice, but if Tapan Street was in the race, but I don't know how. I just can't play Sandman. I don't like any of the Arkansas horses. I would definitely never bet a maiden like Publisher in the Derby. Maybe he can come third or fourth. I wouldn't even use him. Those are my two strong opinions. I think Baffert is flying to the lead early, and Sandman has no shot.
I don't know about Baffert. Not that I'm disagreeing. It's just not. I don't have a strong opinion there. But yeah, the Arkansas Derby is without a doubt the prep I am selling. Not to say like that the UAE Derby was better, but
the other prep I don't know what to do with. I don't know what to do with the Bluegrass. I keep watching it, and I don't really know what to do with that race. Because at one point it looked like River Thames was going to win. At one point it looked like East Avenue was going to hold on.
At one point it looked like Owen Almighty might.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just like one of those, like it looked like somebody had to win kind of races, and I don't love those preps where like.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I think Burnham Square is a good horse, and it wouldn't shock me if he won or hit the board. I just don't know what to do with that race as a whole. That's another opinion of mine. I think I'm tossing that race out the window. That and the Arkansas Derby.
I mean, the thing with East Avenue, and you were hip to this before the Risen Star at a very short price. Like, I mean, I know people are saying, oh, he's a new horse. They figured him out. He needs to be in front of horses.
Correct. I mean, he's stalked in the Risen Star and was awful.
Right. Now, granted, he's going to be a bigger price now, finally, after taking money and all his starts. But I don't know. It just seems like, and Citizen Bull, very similar. People are saying he turned a corner about, didn't turn the screws in the San Anita Derby. He said as much. But at the end of the day, they both need to get a lot faster. We're not making excuses for why they didn't run races that are good enough to win this. We're making excuses of why they didn't run their race, which isn't good enough to win this. So
I mean, I thought
Citizen Bull was
awful in the Santa Anita Derby. It was kind of like cornucopian yesterday. He got passed for third by Westwood. Like he didn't
Right.
even run like a third. Like he got passed by a maiden that re-rallied, like, to where, I don't bring up cornucopian, but he barely held on for second yesterday in that 3-horse race. And I don't know if some of these Baffert horses are just fizzling out as a whole. That's why I think Rodriguez, and I know you and some other people like Travis Stone were always high on Rodriguez, because he's kind of never really got that chance. Now he's developed, he's coming into his own. So he seems like a Baffert you would want compared to some of these others
Right.
that are going out the door.
And the issue with Red, I mean, he's similar, I guess, to East Avenue. Is you could look at the PPs and say he's only won when he's been on the lead, but he can actually make the lead here. I'm not sure
And
East
he
Avenue
was never
can.
allowed to run in his previous starts, let's
That's
be
right.
honest. Yeah,
Didn't
so
look that way anyway.
it did not look. That's the one horse in the Derby. If I lost to him, if I didn't use him and lost to him, I'd be upset about. Like if Sandman won, whatever. There's certain horses I don't care for. If he beat me for an exact or something, he's probably the one horse I would be like, oh, I should have used him.
Yeah. Mine would probably be Burnham Square, just because I'm kind of in your camp, and it seems like the Bluegrass, for whatever reason, getting some buzz for those two. But yeah, the Arkansas Derby horses is a for instance. If any of them wins, just have to say I was wrong about that one.
Well, you're the fair odds guy. What do you think Final Gambit's going to be?
I think he'll be 25-1, especially now that the other Cox is out. So, if you want to bet Brad, that's going to take money, and he won his last race, so he's not for me. I mean, I have my fair odds on him higher, but 25-1.
Yeah, I don't.
Why do you like him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I actually prefer Flying Mohawk. Like, to me, if you're going to take a horse out of that race, at least let it be the 60-1 horse.
Yeah, I mean, neither of them have tried dirt, so it's a toss-up anyway.
Right.
A toss-up in terms of who's going to handle it better. You don't know which one's going to handle. Both of them probably will stop when they get dirt kicked in their face, but.
Well, we mentioned the fourth and third place finishers in the Santa Anita Derby. What about the top two? Baeza still hoping to get in. Journalism going to be the favorite. I would say the 2 weeks after the Santa Anita Derby, I was looking for reasons to be against Journalism. Step back a bit on Ragozin and a couple other speed figures, but the way he just hasn't done anything wrong, and 3 graded stakes in a row, and I do think he's the horse to beat.
Well, I saw Baffert was talking about the Santa Anita Derby Day being a really heavy, deep track, because his horse in the Oaks, Tenma, the filly, they said her number was super slow.
Yeah.
So if you go back to the San Felipe, if you're a buyer person, he ran a 108, ran a low sheet, bounced a little bit in the Santa Anita Derby. But if that track really was tiring and deeper, I mean, he still runs a 102. If he comes back, I mean, I'm in the same camp as you. I'm sure I'm in the same camp with a lot of people. If he's got a great post, he's going to sit in the middle of the pack, probably 3 wide, not take a lot of dirt, hopefully. And
right.
I mean, if he shows up, I hate to be Mr. Wise guy, but or Mr. Obvious, should I say? I don't know how he loses. I really don't know how he loses unless somebody takes a massive step forward. His best is way better than everybody else's.
That's right.
And as for Baeza, he got a better trip than Journalism last time because he got first run. He wasn't stuck inside. I think he's a talented horse. I was thinking about him the other day. If he was in the body of the field and he got a good post, what would his odds be compared to if he draws in and he's in post 20 way out there? I don't know. I feel like post 20 is a little bit of a hindrance for a young horse like this. It's really, I mean, he's only run on the dirt 3 times. Pratt did commit to him pretty early, which seems to be a positive sign. But I think, I don't know. At first, I was really on him. I would probably use him in exactas and tries if he got into the race, but he's going to have to take another step forward to beat Journalism, who he couldn't beat last time. Journalism was stuck inside. I don't know if he's going to be overbet now if he draws in because he's post 20 compared to like a cozy post where he was, the hype horse. Everybody's like waiting for him to get in. Pratt took the call.
Plus the AE. I mean, I do think that, he's not going to be on the T-shirt, so.
That's a good point.
I mean, I think we saw that, it was a much bigger bomb. But Aidan O'Brien had that horse who drew in at the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. I forget his name, but it's number 14. Was like 60-1. And by no means am I saying that horse should have been one of the favorites, but probably would have been like 20-1 if he had.
Is that the race he won?
Yeah, he won.
Was that the Breeders' Cup Turf Mile where he ran like 1, 2, 3 and like the longest price of the 3-1?
It was either the Turf Mile or the Juvenile.
I do remember that. I was there. By the way, was Rich Strike not on the T-shirt?
No.
That's disrespectful to Rich Strike.
I know. I mean, they draw far enough out. You'd think they could just print the 21. But
disrespectful.
Hopefully they learn their lesson. Get Baeza on there.
What about Sovereignty?
I mean, I think, if you told me to rank them by talent, he'd be number 2. I just feel like as a better, I'm already on the favorite. So I'm much more willing to gamble against Sovereignty running well than I am Journalism.
All right, let me ask you this question.
I like Chunk of Gold. So if
that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I'm not going to let Burnham Square beat me if Chunk of Gold's in the number. So I'm certainly
that's
not
what I was
going to
ask
Sovereignty.
you. If you were playing head-to-head, would you rather have Sovereignty or Chunk of Gold?
A head-to-head? Are they equal prices?
Because they're going to get that similar closing.
They're going to get
they're right next to each other.
And they're right next to each other. Yeah.
They're going to be – and their figures are about the same.
If you gave me, the odds that, plus 200 on Chunk of Gold and minus 180 on Sovereignty or whatever it would be, I would take the plus. I would go for the price.
And he's going to be twice the price. He's cost $2,000. He doesn't have Godolphin Blue on, and I mean they're literally the same kind of styled horse. Chunk of Gold might have a little more speed than him, but I mean they're right next to each other. One other horse I didn't like at first, but I'm kind of drawing to is Tistastic. I'm starting to warm up a little bit to him. He can get the distance. He's coming into his own. Rosario, by the way, I know everybody makes fun of Rosario. His Derby rides every year are unbelievable. If you go back and watch all his Derby rides.
Interesting.
So
he's won the race.
I think
I'm glad
that's
you
my last
mentioned
Derby
him.
winner.
Or mine was American Pharaoh, so I'm not too far ahead of you. Well, so was Orb.
Yeah, wasn't he like 5-1, Luke?
Yeah, it was one of the longest price chalks ever.
Yeah. I remember that.
Still the favorite though. But yeah, after the draw, Asmussen, he actually pointed out that one of his talking points was Rosario. He thinks really fits this horse. He said he's an instinctual rider, and that's important for this horse. So, and then that to me complements what you said about the Derby, because I mean you're making split-second decisions. And Steve said this too. He's like, you can't be worried about trainer instructions in the Derby. You got to ride your race. So
correct.
That aligns. He's very price dependent for me. I think one of the future wager pools, which closed shortly after the Louisiana Derby, I was like, they're really betting this horse to 16-1, and that cooled a little bit. So he's definitely a board watch. Like if he's 20+1, I'm a lot more interested in him than if he were like 14 or 15. So
I would say he's 17.
I've warmed to him. Definitely don't like Publisher at all though.
I don't know how you can. I don't know how you can sit there and watch the Arkansas Derby and like Publisher. One, he's a maiden.
Or
two,
Cold
the race
Front.
felt.
I'll
give Cold Front a little extra credit. At least he was closer to the pace and made a middle move into the pace. I'll give him a little more credit. I would rather have Cold Front over Publisher, and there's a chance Publisher shorter
I agree with
than
that.
Cold Front.
I agree with
Publisher
that.
shorter.
I mean, I know after the fact, moved too soon, whatever. But I mean, I thought he rode the race to win. He saw an opportunity.
Yeah.
He knew,
it was fine.
I mean, it didn't work out. And then Briley said the horse may have been short, something about either missed work or didn't get as much out of him as they wanted. So, I mean,
trainer talk.
I'm kind of told that the trainers who haven't won big races are honest, though. It's just the ones who are polished that have trainer talk.
I understand. What about Grande?
He's in the mix with the ones I like. I haven't looked at the I've looked, but I haven't thought about. I mean, they're tough, so I don't know how much I'm going to be able to to spread in the Derby.
No, I mean, the races,
and by tough, I mean like A, several can win, they're competitive races, but B, I don't think there was definitely no standout favorite, which is great. But if I'm going to go 3 deep trying to catch 6, 8, 10, 12 to 1 horses, that limits my Derby option. But I mean, look, if I can get to the Derby after a couple $20 horses, I'm fine with just journalism.
I have not done the in-depth work on the undercard races, but there's some wars in there at First Peak. So you're gonna have to take somebody's gonna have to take a stand somewhere.
Right.
That's right. I always do that old saying: if this was a Wednesday in a 20-horse race and you didn't know it was the Derby, who would you bet? And journalism is a horse that like just stands out above everybody else. And you overthink it because it's the Derby. He's 3-1. There's 19 other horses. But
and one thing I'll point out is we've had Country House he was DQ'd, but when he was second, it was behind the favorite or second choice. Rich Strike, the favorite, was second. Mine Nepper, the favorite, was second, and Giacomo, the favorite, was off the board. But Fleet Alex, who was definitely the best horse in that race anyway,
second and third choice ran second and third last year.
Third. I mean, yeah. So even if you like journalism, if you allow yourself some chaos, he can still be in the mix.
And I think this race sets up for chaos from behind. If you don't like Sandman like me, that eliminates a 5 to 6 to 1 shot probably.
Right.
I don't know what to do with
people want to bet a closer. They're definitely going to gravitate to Sandman.
He's gray too. If you didn't know, he's a gray horse.
Yeah.
He's gray. People like gray horses. Best race of the weekend though might be the Mind Frame Nisos. There's some good undercard races. Matchups. Really Locked versus Fierceness on Friday.
Locked
is lock.
Yeah, that's my lean on Friday. Unfortunately,
I don't like when a trainer doesn't want to run a horse in a race, and the owner shows up and says, "We're running."
The one thing I'll say is at least they were pointing for this weekend, so he's ready to run. But
but it's a mile and it's a 2-turn. I mean, he would have been running against tomato cans on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I hear you. No, I mean, I think Locked is. I mean, I played him in the Pegasus, so.
That was a clown ride. No offense to, I forgot who ride him, but he was in way too far back.
I mean, Locke's been pointing for this after the big cap. Yeah.
And the other thing about that race is too, there's supposed to be pace in there. You made fun of me on my poll yesterday. I think Fierceness is either extremely short in there, or people actually pay attention and don't look at names and gravitate to Locked. But I think Fierceness might be like 3 to 5. People love that horse.
Oh, no way. 3
to
5?
No, man. I don't know. Who else they gonna bet in there? You Locked. Don't see like a. Yeah, but he doesn't have the name Fierceness has. I don't know. I could see like 4 to 5, 5 to 2.
All right.
I mean, I could be wrong.
I hope you're right. Believe me. I hope you're right.
I don't know. Because they're not going to bet Hall of Fame and Most Wanted and all that.
No.
I mean, they're going
to. It's pleasure, for sure.
Biggest lean of the weekend.
Good cheer.
Can you beat? Oof, really? I mean, I like her. I don't.
Jeez.
What about biggest fade?
Torpedo Anna.
Gosh, we agree way too much. We got to hang up this call because this is getting like, I think her numbers are just, she's going to be, I don't want to keep saying favorites, but she might be 1 to 9 because of her love affair.
Oh, she'll be 1 to 2.
Yeah, her love affair will take her all the way down to below.
Chad running both of those, assuming he does, like, she'll have earned it. That's all I can say.
Correct. This is the one, and it's not like Chad doesn't have a speed horse in there. One of them has speed, so it's not like she's going to be out there rolling in the Breeders' Cup where she beat Raging Sea because no one else went with her. Somebody's actually going to go with her.
Yeah. No, I mean, people get bent out of shape when you salivate trying to beat the superstar horse, fan favorite, but she's going to be 1 to 2, like.
Yeah, she's definitely a fan favorite and a good horse, but
no, and it's great they're running, but yeah, I got to take a shot.
There's a sequence in there. I think it goes fierceness, her, and she feels pretty are like 3 straight races. I
Right.
think it starts the Derby City 6 too.
Oh,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think that. I mean, you beat 1 or 2 of those off the rip.
and then
You're
just
in
get the
shape.
good cheer.
I'm with you on her. I
And
just
then
think
there's
she's getting pace. She wants distance. She has a good pose for her running style. She can sit in the clear
right.
distance. It doesn't matter if she's 3 wide because she can run all day.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to beat her in Louisiana, and I totally get like the speed figure stuff, but I mean, Torpedo Anna, like the number she got in the Oaks last year would not even be competitive this year. So,
You know, it's funny. I looked at the rags. I don't do rags much. I know aren't you a rag guy?
oh yeah,
I think 5G has the best rag coming into the race. And I always thought she had a little, she's a little interesting to me underneath. I think she ran a 9 or something maybe last time.
gate to wire though, she'll have some company.
No, 100%. But she wouldn't shock me if she like
Yeah, no,
sat second, hung
I mean
around.
that's part of the. I mean, Derby same way. Part of the reason I'm not shy about the chalk in either race is I definitely don't think like Lacara is the second choice. No, I mean she's a good filly. I mean, you always like hate to disparage grade one winners. She's legit, but I'm not. I mean, she doesn't have to finish in the money.
Yeah, I thought her last was everything given to her to Ashland. Nobody else went with her, and there was like 4
Right.
speeds in the race. I mean, I think she's a good filly. She's shown the ability, but Mark Cassidy said that if someone's running with her, they're going to have to be going fast. So I guess they're dead sending out of there.
Well, simply joking's not hitting the brakes.
5G.
Yeah.
Quiet side's not gonna be on the lead, but she's gonna send from post 14 to get position.
Yeah.
So they're running to
I
the
would
first
think.
turn.
I mean, if I'm Ortiz, I'm telling the jockey, you're stay in front of good cheer as long as you can. Like,
Yes.
never let her see you, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. I'm with you on good cheer. Lacar is a little bit of a fade for me. Her last I can't
Yeah.
play horses at short
No, me
prices and
too.
big
And I mean,
races.
if you believe the numbers on Tenma, like she'll be probably the fourth choice, so she's beatable.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with her because her race 2 back was really good, and then Baffert said the track was
Right.
super deep and heavy last time. So I don't know. Like I don't know if I'd feel stupid if she ran second behind good cheer and I didn't have anything. So I don't know. That's one of those horses I don't have a read on really.
No, I mean, the good thing with the big pools, CRW is not going to zap them in the final moment. So at least his betters will have, pretty good gauge with plenty of time to make a final decision.
Isn't there shorter time between races this year? Did I read that they're going?
That's correct. Yeah. So yeah, they're starting at 11 instead of 10:30. So,
Saw that
30 minutes over 12 races or whatever. Pick up 2 or 3 minutes here or there.
so much better.
Yeah. No, some of that's a long slog. All right, so had the scroll below. See where you get your picks. Anything but Churchill this week?
I'll dabble at some Belmont Park opens this weekend.
Belmont does.
Belmont's open this weekend. They got the Fort
Looking forward to
Marcy,
that.
all the opening day features they have.
pageantry.
No, yeah, they've moved from Aqueduct to Belmont at Aqueduct, so I'll do a little of that.
Nice.
But yeah, the focus will be at Churchill.
Something for between races, anyway.
Yeah, I'll have Churchill Tuesday to all the way through the week. So
excellent. All right, well, I'm sure I won't see you out here because you're in the good seats, but let's win some money.
I walk sometimes.
Do you? Well, you're a prince of the people.
Yeah, I like to walk around and sign autographs. Everybody wants it at Derby.
Program to sign.
No, that's never happened to me before. Maybe this year.
I mean, I've had it as a joke, people playing a trick, but
yeah,
I've never made some kid's day. Let's put it that way.
No, I've never signed a kids program before. Just 4 heads at games back in the day. That's it. That's all.
4 heads with the Sharpie.
Oh yeah, that's what the parents wanted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Pope kisses babies. You sign 4 heads.
Yep.
And on that note, it's Derby week.
Good luck.
Let's win some money. All right, thanks, Prince. Again,
Thank
his
you.
picks, you see the website below, and he'll have Tuesday through Saturday. Let's get it done.